So hi guys, maybe okay. So let's have a quick introduction of this video. So this video is just a random video, no basic hardcore educational stuff. Nothing is in there. What I'm going to do in this video is I'll just practice about the Node.js backend with TypeScript, following all the best practices. And while doing that, I'll build an authentication system. I mean, literally have no idea. I'm just trying to build something, and that's the random video that I'm going to do right now. And there will be some steps that think I should follow. I mean, I really don't have any direction how to navigate this video, so it's just gonna be a random video. If you're looking for some educational, very hardcore educational stuff with your time saving method, so this is not the video for you. Maybe this is not the live video. Okay, what you can do is just see me on mute and study with me, or maybe code with me. That's what I think I'm going to do. Okay, let's just build the checklist today. Okay, so what we are going to do and what we should do. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Maybe I should write it down here. I think I'll just share my screen and have a checklist there. So where do I share my screen? Yeah, the entire screen I'm sharing right now. Right now, something scheduled. Yeah, that's good. I think I'm clearly visible to all of you. Yeah. One more thing, I'm pure Hindi person. I'm not very good in English, so बीच में हिंदी निकलेगी बीच में कोशिश करूँगा बस इंग्लिश ही फॉलो इंग्लिश में अच्छा होना भी now let's do one thing. You able to see my screen, right? So मेरे पास एक to do app है Microsoft to do. Yeah, I downloaded it. Okay, so let's do today's checklist. Okay, so oh, my day. Okay, I will do one thing in my day. I'll try to add a checklist task. First, I will be building MERN auth plus TypeScript basic auth. Okay. After that, I'll try to implement multiple roles. Okay, so multiple roles, multiple level of roles. Okay, and that next, what I think I can do is third, some basic revision of Python DSA, not DSA, but Python coding problems easy level because मेरा DSA उतना high level नहीं है. As you can see, these are the three tasks that I'm going to follow. Can you see it? I cannot see it. Yeah. चैनल फिलहाल मेरे पास एक स्प्लिट स्क्रीन नहीं है, मेरे पास टू स्क्रीन यूज नहीं कर रहा. I'm not using two screens, so I can just either see how I am presenting myself, or either I can present my screen. So sorry for the visuals in advance. So basically these three are the steps that we are going to follow. Let's do this first, second, and third. Now during this first step, what I'm going to do, it's just a revision. I'm not building anything from scratch, or maybe I'll write code from scratch, but I have already built it. So I'm just not going to waste time researching it again and again. I'll start building by, yeah, try to explain the code one by one because I really don't remember how to do all such things. Okay, I'm giving too much explanation. Let's not do that. Okay, let's see. I have used an app here, my portfolio here, coding word here, lead code here. So where did I put my Node.js backend folder? this is the Meet application that I built. This coding code contains nothing in particular. I have to do backend. Yeah, this one is the one. What I'll do, I'll make a node backend folder. We'll open it in lead code. Here we can open this in terminal also. Right. No, it's not open. Terminal will directly open it in lead code. Show more options. Inside. And one more thing else. This is going to be a very long video. I don't know how long I'm going to continue it. Right now the time is 10:25 p.m. and the date is 27th of June. So this is going to be a very long video. It's not just some 1 or 2 hour video. It is going to be quite large. So let's see. I have opened it, and now I open this also in my computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to explain myself how these things were built. Let's get deep into it. One thing I'm sure about is we have to init the project. Okay, so what's the command for that? I don't remember actually. Init command for Node.js backend. So what I'm going to do, I'm npm init UI. Yeah. So node package init. We have to packages. We have to build the packages. For that we use node init UI here. Just paste it, and I guess the package.json and node modules would be set up in this. Yeah, I guess it should. And after that, next recommended step is for the backend npm install express and all. So these are the some dependencies that we should install, and if I'm going to build in TypeScript. So it remembers what I'm doing, right? It remembers what I'm trying to do. That's why it suggested npm install express dot env course and also TypeScript TS node. I don't know what TS node do, but these are some types. Okay, so we also have to download the types of every library that we are downloading. Okay, for types we already set up, also run npxtsc. For that it will do this typically normal. Okay, typical normal dev script. Okay, we can also do npm run dev and it will do this. So package.json is ready here, and for that let's try installing the packages. Npm install express.env and course. So these are the dependencies, express.env and course that we are downloading. After that we will download the types of all these, and we also install the node mod, the ts node and typescript language. So let's copy this command. Once this is done, we can see the package log.json and node modules are done in here. So we have course.env and there are no other options here. So let's download other things also. Yep, these dependencies are being installed. While we're doing that, let's read some other steps. Okay, so for TypeScript project, also run npx init. What is do? I don't know. So what is the use of this? Great question. Is it clear? And this is what it does. Initialize the ts config or JSON file. Okay, the ts config. You remember if you are a React.js developer, it will generate a ts config dot JSON, and yeah, pretty much that is it. TS configure JSON will configure the TypeScript used for understanding how your ts.ts file will work. Okay, what you need in TS, which file to compile, where the output compile, and strictness is also rule to apply. So this is the basic things. So these are basic things. Let's not get very deep into it. Node compatibility, clean folder structure, dist or build folder. So these are all you can just maintain in here. Okay. So if I'm writing the TypeScript backend, so I think I should do that also. And we'll see here. After that, dev dependencies are also being downloaded. Since we had a hyphen D here, these are all the dev dependencies. Once we're done with that, yeah, once we are done with that, what we can do is, mm, yeah, let's run this. Tsconfig will initialize automatically, then we'll start writing the code. So once we have to set up the environment for our tsconfig, right? So tsconfig.json is done. And if we just read this very carefully, if we'll read this carefully, we can use it to its full extent. Like, just open it up and just read all this. Just skip the type checking .d.th, like when to skip the type checking and files that are included with types. So files that would include this will skip the types checking. So we can also make it loosely type, but that's not recommended. So typical node on dev script. Okay, yeah. So what we can do is, in the packages script, we can add a dev script in which we root node1 src index.ts. So node1 src index. So what it it indicates towards, it points towards the source folder, and inside that index.ts will be our main folder. So let's create a new folder, src, and inside that we'll create a new file, index.ts, right? So that was the basic thing. After that, let's get deep into it. Close save. So basically, this is going to be our structure. So we'll have a source folder, env file dot get ignore. Yeah, this file is also we need here, config.ts file, which will which will contains the configuration. What it will do, it once the process.env is called, all our environment variables are stored in our normal variables, right? So it will be a little bit faster. So this is important. This is very very important, because whenever you use this inside something, like if I just search this now. So if I'm using environment here, right? If I am using so instead of this, if I write it this like this, so it will just go again search for process.env.node.env. And so instead, what I'm doing, I'm just importing the thing from the configs. So in configs, it is already saved as in a variable environment. So it will be a bit faster. So let's do one thing again. Go, so inside our source folder there is controllers, which will contain the controller functions. This is database models, and this is index, this is middleware. Middle, we can get error middle. Okay, normal middleware. There is route.ts, user key routes. And middleware is basically when you have to install something between, in the middle of the server and client, which will verify whether you are sending the correct data to the backend or not. And the user routes will just tell you that this is the route which you have to go through to reach the to reach what to reach the backend. Yeah, that took quite long. So these are also the types. Okay, the types of the thing. So basically, let's keep in mind. Let's not just build very basic things. Let's start by doing something complex. Like, if I'm going to build a job application, right, which helps the user to apply for jobs, and maybe basically a portal where a client or user both can log in and post a job, or maybe apply for a job, right? So if I'm going to do that, which will obviously need some advanced types and advanced models like job models and user models. So basically that is what we are aiming for. So this will also help us to get deep into the Node.js, how to do things, right? And after that, there is also utils. Utils just contain some basic uh, functions that we might need in multiple locations. So we just wrote it in different folder, and this is our main file from where the execution starts. So let's do this. Let's first check the package address and see what we have not installed yet. Okay, so if we go here, let's close this, let's close that. Okay, so we only have three cores.env and express. So okay, my battery is running low. I should charge it first. As you know, we have plenty of time today. We can take as much as long. Yeah, just wait for a few minutes. Okay, one more thing I just remembered to add into the to-do list. I think is you might get excited about it. Not maybe some people will get excited, some will not. I am writing it for the first time, so I will definitely get excited. Writing tests for Node.js. Okay, this is what I'm going to do in the fourth step, and after that, let's do GitHub actions to create a build for the backend, which we can access. That much is enough. You should know how the software works. So let's go from the very scratch to the very advanced things. Writing test is something that I don't know at all. So that is what I'm going to explore in this video, which is new to me. And there are also some concepts and some basic concepts which I don't even know. So I'll get deep into it. So this is, as you know, why this is going to be a very long video, because while revising all things, I'm going to dive deep and research and search all the things that I don't know, and might get some. I'll try to get some more information on it, some deep information on it. So yeah, that much is done. These five steps are right now we are on this step. Okay, so I really don't want to add some steps into it. So let's not do that. That's just time consuming. Let's do something meaningful instead. So yeah, we have done types of .env, right? So let's install bcrypt.js, cookie parser, course, right? Course we have already done, and pm install bcrypt. Yeah, let's use bcrypt.js then instead of precrypt. Key parser in because express async handler. Yeah, express async handler is something that you should know. Then there is this JSON web token for JWT token. Yeah, you all know it. Or how can we do it without a database, right? So we'll download Mongoose. What we'll download? Mongoose. So let's install. If I'm not wrong, I should have written all the spellings correct. Let's wait for it to download properly. Yeah, it's downloading. Let's see all the types that we have not downloaded yet. Okay. So this is this one, this one, this one. even नोड का टाइप भी हमने डाउनलोड नहीं किया है. टाइप तो चलो डाउनलोड हो गया अच्छी बात है. राइट. So these types are TS node dev. We have not downloaded here. What am I doing? Basically, we'll download it if download it if we need it. Like npm I hyphen t for the dev dependencies. Let's just check once more. What was the command for dev dependencies? Npm I hyphen d was there or not? Yeah. Npm install hyphen d. Npm install. Okay. Install hyphen d at the rate types bcryptjs at the rate types slash three parser at the rate types slash. This is already there. So let's do JSON web token and ts dash node dash dev. Let's see. Basically, we also have some interesting scripts in here. Yeah, this. Okay. So let's include all these scripts. Okay. Instead of writing this, or instead of maybe using node one, what we can do, we'll include some dev dependencies of, yeah, only. We have not included insert child, but if it is start, what start will do? Node test index.js. I don't know what it will do. It will do. Let's write for build also. That much is enough, I guess. I'll write tests again after some time. Okay. So I think we are done with the dependencies here. We can start writing the code now. What we'll do, we'll go line by line. Yeah, I'm pretty much copying the whole code, but the thing is, I am revising things. Okay, and most, and one more thing is that I don't actually remember any of it what I wrote in there, right? So let's start with index.js only, and I'll try to convey as much as possible. Let's create a subsidiary. Let's create an export, right? Just export const app of express, right? So what we'll do, we'll import express from express. Now let's say that we have a export const port as 5000, maybe something that we have mentioned. Okay, we don't have to export that. Port is something that we only need here. Now, basically, this is the connect DB function which will connect us to the database. We'll import it after some time. Now, we'll use app dot use course. What is course? We'll import course. Suggested, yeah. So it imports course for cross origin access cookie parser express.json express.json. I've got use wiki parser. We have installed it already. I've got using what express dot json. After that, only if you are getting data from the request URL now. It's what it says. URL encoded express.url encoded need to use only if you are getting data from the request URL. I don't really get it, so I'll just search it. So that's why I'm telling you should write the notes or comments very precise, so you can remember it when you see the code after very long time. Yeah, explain why to use. Perfect question. Let me explain app.use what it's simply in simple backend friendly terms. What it does, it's built-in Express middleware that parse incoming URL encoded data from form method post. Mhm. Makes that form data available under request.call. So because of this, you will get the data. So what it will do, parse the form data, okay, and provide you that inside the request.body. And also this is a middleware. What kind of middleware? Express middleware. So if you are getting something, if you are getting data from the request URL, it's not needed. So if you are importing data, which will obviously you get no. So use extended false. We'll include this in our what we imported into express middleware makes the data parse the data from the forms to the request dot body, right? And this basically what it does. Let's not use winds of too much. Now what it's going to say, there are routes, okay, so there will use routes also, some middlewares also, and get and even listen and get and listen what we will listen to a code. After listen, we subscribe also code provider name, and then this function which console.logs only the version on the code. Let's do npm run dev. Okay, let's stop it. npm run dev. So it should run. It is not running. Running the wrong file. Let's do run dev. Okay, npm Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, it has started, but yeah, service is running on port 5000. Yes, we have reached the point. Next, what we'll do, we'll connect to the database. So before that, what we can do is we can set the .env, right? .env, what it does, so because of this, we can use the load environment variables from .env file. Yeah, very important. So what we can do is, let's first make a .env file. Okay, so this is the .env. Okay. What I will do, I'm going to stop my screen sharing and let's see if my passwords are there. Okay, so just let's just wait for a second. I'm going to check my env file. Yeah, yes. My passwords are here. What I'm going to do, I'm just copying the whole thing. I guess I will not be able to show you my env files, obviously. So I've copied my variables. What I can do is show you the variable names only. Shift and this. Let me share my screen for a moment. And screen share. Yep. Can you guys see this? Yeah. So first we'll have port, then we'll have node env, then we'll have JWT secret, then database URL, and then db user pwd. So these are all the variables that we might need while doing this. This is just when you are using some other database instead of MongoDB, then you need to use that. Okay, maybe what you can do is go to the config.js, right? If we'll just go to the config.js now, so you know the database URL, right? So instead of doing this database URL as a string, what you can do is you can add it like this, construct it like this. Okay, so we'll get name, host, port, user, password, and then use that to construct a whole string, right? So that's also recommended because then you'll have all these things in different variables instead of. So basically it protects. So in what way does it protects in a way because uh, it protects you in such a way that suppose I am a hacker and then I want to access your data. So I just have to get one variable data to get access to your database, right? And on the other hand, if I'm keeping all my string in different variables, then I might need to access or might need to fetch all those different datas. Yeah, so that's the case. So it makes things a little bit hard. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so let me stop the screen sharing for one more time. I'm going to restore all the variables that I listed. I'm now going to close the, let's share my screen again. Okay. I don't really remember at what time I started the stream. Let's say I just want to keep it here. So I'll just write the timing roughly around 10:30 p.m. I don't remember. So this is the step I have did. Start. Let's do a bit more constructive way. Start playing. Yeah. I guess I have a start time of 10:30. It's going to be very long. It might take 6 hours, 10 hours. I don't know because my time pass will work for me. So after that, what we can do is, uh, yeah, let's set up the config.js. Yeah, that would be nice. But first, let's import .env and config it. Yeah, .env. I mean, what the heck? Yeah, .env.config, and I want .env from here. Why am I getting this thing? Yeah, import .env. Yeah, I would do that. Import .env from .env. Yes, we'll do that. We'll create a new file here on fig.ts. After that, just let's say what are the things that we are going to need in our config.ts. Let's close this. First, very important, include the import .env from .env config. We'll do that now. Export all the environment. Okay, so it's the process.env dot node.env. Now then again export const port, or maybe port is equals to process env port, and again it's port const access secret. Yeah, right. Access secret would be JWT secret as string, also as string, this also as string. Okay, let's do one thing more. Export const refresh secret would be JWT secret for now. We have not changed that. Yeah, I know. Export const db, which will contain db URI as process database URL as string. Export const db, which will be input. Yep, const and export const course URL. What about the course URL? I don't remember actually. Process.env.course URL as a string. Let me just see. Again, after checking my env about the course URL, remember env. Is there a course URL? There is not. No course URL. Maybe if I am including some, when will it be used? It will be used when I am using a front end with it, and will try to access by my front end. So at that time, I will include my localhost 3000 in that course URL. Yep, get it correct. Yeah, let's share my screen again. Let's yes. So that okay, I did that. I basically didn't want it to do that. I still did it. All that effort for what? For what? All of you did get my password. Yeah. Okay. No worries. I just hope nobody does anything bad to it. Maybe I'll just change it afterwards. Let's see. Yep. Nothing sensitive in there. I'm so very tired, but I'll not let it get into my way. Okay, after we are done with this config, let's go to index and see. Yep, pretty much okay. We have not written this request. Okay, let's see if we'll get this. Okay, so this is the get thing. And do you know where I'm from? Where to I'm going to import this from Express? Yeah, not from next response or next. No, I'm going to import it from the Express only. Yep, so I'm pretty much done with it. Let's see if I'm able to access this from my phone. I'll go to this. I'll go localhost 5000. Yep, hello from TypeScript. Yeah, yeah. Hello from the sheet, and I am still able to do it, right? So what this does basically, after I do this, add this URL to send a request and response, where I'll do response.send this. Okay, I'm sure pretty much get it. So where if I'm going to, so if my server is running, okay, if my server is running, where is it running? I can't see it. Oh my god. Do I need to run it again? Do I need to run it again? I guess I do need to run it again. Let, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. npm run dev. Oh, server is running. And once I hit the URL, oh, nice. It's a count again. So I guess I'm going to get anything from any. Okay. It's a bash. What if I open something else? No, it's not good. Git bash is a top. So we have done this. Now let's start by building the connection div. Okay. So for that, we have to make a file called database inside the source. So inside the source, we'll create a folder database. Inside the database, there is a file index.ts again. So basically, our root file of every folder would be index.ts. Once we follow that terminology node, then we'll be able to access all the things very clearly. So inside of index.ts, what we need to do. So yeah, what I told you, right? DB user, DB password, DB host, DB port, DB name. We can use this terminology also. And that's why I've kept it here. So let's write a function connect DB which will connect us to the MongoDB. So const connect const connect DB async. Yep, this is going to be our async function. We will try catch block insert errors. We will try to console into the database error. And inside here we should use const connection mongoose dot connect, and we're going to use db dot db url console.log connected to the database. From config we are going to import db. Let's save it. Okay, export default connect db, right? So once we have written it in the index, we can uncomment it and import it from the database, right? So, so what we are going to do is stop this process, maybe exit this process. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Yeah, we have pretty much exited it. Open some different terminal. Okay, let's see what we can do. What we can use. Git bash is definitely not working properly right now. So let's do npm run dev. Yep, connected to database. Yeah, we are connected to database. And I guess in the MongoDB I have done something because of which we are connected to database. So one of the very basic thing is how to set up your MongoDB database. I'm not going to demonstrate it here because it's too easy and I have done it so many times that I remember it correctly every time I do it, and it basically doesn't take any effort to do. So I'll not do it. You can just watch a 15 minutes, 20 minutes video on the internet and you'll be able to get it. I'll do the same. So there are not any advanced thing that you require to just create the database and deploy for the basic user authentication. You will not require it. So let's go to the next stage. We That was quite simple, right? Very simple to connect to the database app. And now user routes we have to set that, yeah, at this URL, go to the user routes and these routes too. So have controller function that it at which route you have to call which controller function. So basically this is also the thing that you need to do before writing the routes. Let's write the models. So I think user model is enough for now. Yeah, let's see. User dot keys. So first thing first, let's see what we have in the user. Okay, first of all, let's create the user scheme. Before that, or before all of that, let's create the types. Okay, so it's inside the source, yeah, inside source only we create a folder called types, which will contain the types of all the things. Inside all that types, we use user.ts, which will contain the types of user model only. So since we are using TypeScript, we have to extend a class of document, which is a MongoDB document, right? Mongoose document. Yeah. So let's write it. So I'm just going to show you the basic export interface I user is the name of our schema. Extends extends what? Extends document. Okay, so let's not do this. I'm going to import this document from mongoose, and after that, let's see. There are some basic fields. Okay, so every document has a ID, and that ID is a string. Every document has a email, which will be string, has a password, which will be string, has a name, which will be string, has a phone number. Okay, so all the things that you are not expecting as compulsory, just add a question mark to it. It will not give error to you of missing error, right? Then there is location is also temporary, not compulsory. And there is skills related to the user. Should be array of string. Yes, it's not necessary right now. This is interest, which is also string. Yeah, and there is this experience of what you get it right. Uh, from experience to updated app, created app. So, so these are the all the other interfaces that we are going to write right now. And created at updated at is very important just to get which user was created at which time and when it was updated. Yeah, then compare password is something that is a function that will run before we save the user. Okay. Yeah, we'll get back to it. Okay. So compare password. We have imported it. No. So let's say that it will compare. So we have to define it in the type. So compare password is a type of function which will take candidate password as the argument, which is of type string, and that compare password returns a promise as bool. So we are done with that for now. We also do have to define an interface of education experience and all that. So let's say education may you have degree, institution and year. Company may you have name, website, industry, and in token you have token and when that token was created. Okay. So basically everything you need is here. So is there anything left? Yeah, experience is left. Experience will have title, company, start date, end date, and description. So it's getting quite complex, right? Right. If you think it's still not complex, I guess you are not very intelligent, but yeah, somewhat good in coding. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Let's see if I have written anything in the job. Yeah, I have written in the job. So let's create job types also, right? So jobs.ts, yeah, only job.ts. Yeah. So what type of job it is? Interface I job is. It will also have an ID description, title description. Okay. So after description we have recruiter, company, skills, tax, experience level, job location, and all created at that. We have not gone into very deeply into it. Yeah. After that, we have also a type salary range. This much was done. Let's see, company. Yep, company will import from the user. Yeah. the interface is pretty much that. What we can do is create a different interface or basically a different table for company only, right? If we are using job user, so we can also make a new file here, company dot yes, right? So basically make it another database table, but we're not going to do it right now. We'll just delete this file and implement it some other time. So let's not make it very complex. So we have defined the types. Now what we'll do, we'll go to the models and we'll define the database schema for it. Inside of models we have user dot which is totally empty. So basically the schema. First, let's define the schema only, and we'll import the schema and models from the mongoose, and the type of schema from the types, and we'll also need bcrypt because before saving the password, we have to run a function which will encrypt the password. Okay, so yeah, we have written this. So you can also define a schema using this syntax like const schema colon schema user. So whether you do this or you do that, it's pretty much works the same. Yeah. So let's do const schema is equals to new schema. Yeah, we can also do mongoose dot schema. Yeah, and let's import the schema from mongoose. Yep, I've got it. Now first is name, which is of type string. Obviously, is it required? No. Let's trim it also. Yeah, trim is necessary. Okay, max length maybe 200. Yep, and required. Obviously required. Definitely required. Next one, email. So and how to type also string. It is name could be anything, but email should be unique. So user should not be able to log in or register multiple times with the same email, or maybe two users should not use same one. It will also trim max length is set. We don't really need to set the max length for email, but yeah, we can do that too, just to be extra safe. Let's say password is also string and it is required. We should also we can also do some regex in here. Yeah, we can, instead of this, we can write a function here which will return some number. So in the end we can use something like that. So we can apply regex. There is phone number and all and all and all. So let's just do this. We can copy this schema. Timestamp we have kept true to get the created ad or anything like that. The fields like when it was created. Yeah. So once you're done with this, we're making some other schemes also, right? We have kept some other database tables in here also, which will definitely help us. So one first we are getting does interests. It's giving error. Object literal may only specify known properties, but interest does not exist in the type I user. In this user type, does interest exist? Yep, it does. In this interests, Yes, I will not get error for interests. Let's make experience schema, and education schema, company schema, and token schema. Okay, so we'll write it manually just to get more idea of it. Okay, so let's see. We have a document name and collection type. Okay, we have a document name and collection type. So it's basically data name, database name, and this is the database table name. Okay, const education scheme, which would be a new schema obviously, and this schema has a degree which is string, degree which is type string. Not getting very deep into it. We have an institution of type string, year of type number. Yep, that's pretty much it. Not diving very deep into it. One more constant that we can add in here is we can make it a child table, so it will not create an extra table for it. Export const company scheme, which will also be a new scheme that will contain name, website, and industry. So name of type string, website of type string, industry of type string. I guess I have written it correct. Now again, some other scheme. Okay, one constraint that we forgot to add was ID should be false. Again, next scheme would be experience scheme and token scheme. Now, const experience scheme is the same as a equals to new scheme with title of types string, company of type string, start date of type date, end date of type date, description of type description, and that would be it. And if with that we'll do ID is equals to false, which will now create a new table for this thing. Now what is the token schema? This token scheme would also be a new scheme of database which will contain token of type string and created at a date, and let's do one thing, suggesting too much and this much of suggestions. Yep, this much is good. One more thing, ladder ideas policy. So we are all good to go now. So one more thing that you need to do, take this, like this can contain this as a relation. Okay. So if we have to relate this scheme with another table, we will also learn that. Okay. Before that, let's say we have to define the index. Okay. So schema dot index underscore id as one, status as one. why these lines are used. Let's just ask it away. We don't know. What's the use? You are creating indexes on your MongoDB collection for improving your query performance. Okay, that's one thing that you should remember. And how you can do that? This is this compound. This is a compound index on both ID and status. Okay, so order matters. First is ID, and then by status. Okay, yeah, nice, nice. You can do that also. Your indexingly find by status or you can just do it by using both. Now, what schema.t does is you want to run a function on save, and that would be an async function. Okay. Now, if not this dot is modified password, then means अगर पासवर्ड मॉडिफाई नहीं हुआ है तो डायरेक्ट आगे बढ़ जाओ, इधर const salt await bcrypt js dot gen salt 10 does include bcrypt js. No, there's no suggestion, so let's just include bcrypt. Let's see if we can import. Did it work? Yeah, it did. So we have created a salt, and then before saving we just need to hash before saving, right? Also, the start password would be await we give ts dot hash this dot password with the salt, and after that we go to the next stage. One other method is before save. One method is schema dot methods dot compare password, which will also be an async function. If we take candidate password, should be a string, returns of terms of boolean, this will return either of compare candidate password with this dot password. Right. After we are done with this, export const user here model I user of schema collection. So bundle with order, bundle with all the names. Okay. But in this code, that model will be recognized as capital user, and these, this, and this will be recognized which is for inside the details on the model thing. Right. So we are done with all that. लगे हाथ jobs.ts का भी कर लेते हैं. So what job.ts is gonna do is almost the same. Jobs.ts is the model. Yeah. So this is the salary range schema. Okay. We include the scheme from Mongoose. Yeah. And then there is this scheme for job ID, jobs, right? And with that, we are going to link the link what? So scheme will be imported. iJob would also be imported on the types. And you can see that the recruiter would be of schema types object ID, reference user required. So this is how we link. Okay, that much is done. Now let's create some index also. Schema.index from ID1 and status 1 schema.index. I think I guess I need to think again about schema indexing. The pattern description would be better. Location text would also be a good thing. Now export const job model equals to model from Mongoose I job. I have not defined document name and collection name. Just define it then. Document name, schema, collection name. I guess this image shows it. I job. So we are done with our job schema also. Let's do all the same things. Let's again go to the index.ts file. Yeah. Inside this index.ts, we have to define the routes. Okay. So what we'll do is how to define the routes. App.use routes. Okay. So we are doing auth routes, right? App.use would be reward slash API calls of auth. So यहाँ पे user routes should be called, right? So the user route should be imported from where? The user routes should be imported from routes and user routes. So basically routes are the place from where we write the routes. So routes inside that there will be a file routes.ts. Let's go to this file and see. So before writing the routes on that particular route, what we have to do, we have to write first write controller functions, and for login, for register. So let's go for register, for login, for logout, for get user, for get all users, get a user, get user ID. Yeah, update user can also be written, and at last, delete a user can also be written. Yeah, um, here only. So let's do that. Okay. So once we are done with this, in the source, let's create a controller folder. Okay. After that, let's create a file which will name the user controller.ts. This file will contain the functions. Okay. So these are all the functions: login, logout, register, get all users, get user data. Okay. So let's start by writing a register user function. Okay. So yeah, controller functions should contain a middleware. So let's see export const register user express async handler we will use in here, and async request from express, response would be response from express. Okay, that's not response from express. Now this will get, let's get to this. Inside register user we are going to, okay, so this is also going to return a promise of void. Okay. And after that, let's say inside the response request.body we are going to receive the name, email and password. So we'll just extract it like this, and I will check. Okay, so we'll normalize the email. So if have someone has written their email in capital letters, so let's normalize this. Normalized email dot to lowercase. Okay, so if any of the data is not present, right, if any of the data is not present, if not name or not email or not password, let's just response dot status one dot send status. We'll use send status 400 and throw an error that please fill all the required fields. Okay, once we are done with that, we basically know how to write now the const. Now it will check if the user with that email already exists. Okay, if matlab, no, user exists, will be await user. What is user? User is our user model, right? User dot find one with email of normalized email. Okay, so if user exists, send response dot send status 400, and then throw new error. What would be the error? User already exists. Once we are done with that, now we know that user does not exist and we have to create one. Let's create one now. Then. Now const user. Await user dot create. The create function is already there. Would be email. The name of formula is email. Name and password would be same password that has come from the database. But this is a hash password. Yeah, this is a hashed password. Also access token and refresh token logic should be there. The const access token is, let's write these functions first. Okay, so we are generating access token and refresh token also, and the access token's time would be 15 minutes and the refresh token's time would be for 1 week, I guess. Let's write these functions first inside the utils. So inside the source, let's make a utils folder which will contain, and again index.tx inside the utils, index.ts. Now we'll write export const generate access token, which would take id as string and return jwt dot sign id access secret and expires in 15 minutes. And before that, we'll import jwt from json web token. Similarly, like this, export const generate refresh token, which will take id as string. Now I'm looking at this and like this. Just don't get shocked with my typing speed. It's from just basic practice. Yep, let's get into it. It is a string. Okay, after that it will return jwt dot sign id access secret expires in 7 days. I guess this much is enough, and we are going to use dot env config. So import dot env from dot env. That much is, I guess, enough. Let's import refreshing. So basically this just generates the refresh token and this generates the access token. That's all it is to it. Rejected. Okay. We can basically, these explanations are good, but we really don't need it. Okay, we can just pretty much get it from the name of these functions. Yeah. So after that, actually this one more. So after we are done with that, let's generate the tokens. Okay. So inside this const access token would generate access tokens, and let's import this token, and not user id but user dot underscore id it will take. Okay. uh, and const refresh token will generate the refresh token, which will also contain the id. Okay. Finally, res dot status would be 201 that you are logged registered successfully, and it will return a dot json of underscore id user dot underscore id. Name would be user dot name. Email would be user dot email, and it will send both the access token and refresh token with it. Let's name it something else. ACCESSTOKEN. Okay. We'll do it by using F2. ACCESSTOKEN, and it will also like REFRESSTOKEN. We really don't need to change it. Control Shift Home. Remove it. That much is done. So with that, the user will really successfully registered. So let's like write the logic of login without actually getting into it. So there is export const login express async handler. Okay, and what else did we do? Inside the express async handler, we have to write the async function, which will take request, give a response, return a promise void. Okay, after that, we'll use try catch block, and the error will use console errors. Okay, so while logging in, we get const email comma password as request as body, right? And what we'll do, compare the passwords, get running access, refresh token, send the response. Okay, yeah, that much is it. Check if users exists. Okay, const user is equals to user dot await users dot user dot find one with that email. Okay, const normalized email is equals to email dot lowercase email of normalized email. Yep, that's how we should do it. Yeah. Then if user not exist or await, okay, await recap js dot compare what's the issue or await recap js just compare password with user dot password import that, don't worry, import recap.js from recap.js. Yep, working just fine. Let's say that any of this dot send status 401 and invalid credentials will go through. And compare passwords. This all is done. Now let's generate the tokens. Const access token generate access token. Const refresh token generate refresh token with that ID. After that, user dot refresh token dot push token dot refresh token. Yeah, inside that refresh token will push our new refresh token and await user dot save will save the data into it. It's just possibly undefined. How is that possible? Have we missed something? Have we missed something? I guess we have not. Yeah, we have. Let's add this. So if there is no refresh token, then we'll do this. Okay. We'll save the data. We'll save res dot cookie. What refresh token and refresh token would be there. Inside that, we will set the type of HTTP. HTTP only true secure true secure में will take environment variable is equals to production. Only then our data cookie will be secure, else we don't. Now same site restrict 7 days the cookie age हो सकते हैं. After storing it into cookie, we will send the response. This dot send this dot status would be bounded with .json ID user and only access token, because refresh token will be directly stored into the cookie. Okay, and we have already done register user. Let's again very fastly write the logout user. So const export const log out is equals to express async handler have we have. Now it will contain async request. Okay, so before that, let's say this is closing in here. It returns response and const token is equals to request dot cookies. Let's see. Let's add a try catch block and I guess sort of error. Let's ask one thing, okay? Do we really need this try catch? Do we need try catch for the above particular function? Actually, let me just break this down practically. Okay, not just types. So, you need try in short. Try catch is redundant. Okay, so yeah, redundant. It's totally redundant. We really don't need to use it. Let's remove it simply. It is redundant code only. Let's remove it. We really don't need it. Yep, that's quite. Oh, what is happening? Uh-huh. Okay, AC request is done. All this is done. This one is also done without a try catch. So basically, this was redundant code. So I was writing. So first in the logout, we'll get const token from request dot keys dot refresh token. So we'll get refresh token. If we have not refresh token in our backend in our cookies, then restart status that you are already logged out. User already logged out. Then else const user will find that user await user dot find on जिसका refresh tokens dot token is token will find a user like that. So if not user restart clear with the refresh tokens HTTP only through same site strict and environment of production after is the string and return. If you don't find user, then else what we'll do user dot refresh tokens user dot refresh tokens dot filter out that refresh token where RT token is not equal to. So we'll just delete that particular token which is saved in the inside the cookie. Have it. You dot save. Then dot clear cookie. Refresh tokens with a ingress dot send status 204 and return this function. So logout was pretty much hard. We really don't need to use try and catch block because it is redundant. Now let's see. Export const that users supposed to express async handler. Okay, what's this? Yeah, that's not pretty simple. But let's add some const user is equals to okay, okay. We really don't need everything. Okay, so const user is equals to await error dot find one find all. Okay, after we have found all, if not user is dot send status 400 and throw new error user not found. Is somebody watching me? Nobody is watching. So I guess I'm public, but still private. That's quite good. Yeah, that is. So it's 12 now. When did we started? We started at 10:30. I guess 1.5 hour. At 1.1 hour 43 minutes. Nearly 2 hours are remaining. Let's get this done with const mapped data. So since we do not require everything, user dot map item, and we will just only return the fields that we need very much. We return an object with name item dot name and email item dot email. I guess that's it. User dot map. What's it saying? Map does not exist on a type. User user dot find. I guess this is what I'm looking for. Not find one, but find many. We return an array, and again res dot status 200. We return JSON mapped data, and then finally return from the function get all users, get the user with that particular ID, export const get user data would express async express async handler async function which is request response. This function is there now. Let's do this const email equals dot body accounts user exists is equals to await user find one with email normalized email. We'll copy this thing. Const normalized email is equals to normal dot lowercase. This much is done. I am forgetting these basic things. Okay, if user, if not user exists, press dot send status 400 throw throwing either user not found. Okay, accounts user. Press dot status 200 JSON user exists, but inside let's do this data with user exists. Okay, and the end will return anything else. So basically, we have written those routes. Get user by ID. Okay. Update user by email and delete user by email. So these are the things that we need to do also. Let's open the controller in here. So this one is done. This one's done. Update user. Okay. So let's say export const update user. Okay, express async handler async request response. Get this const data plus request dot body. Now I'll do updated. Okay. Email comma dot data request dot body. I guess this should work. Yeah, this should work. Okay. I will normalize email const user exists is equals to await dot find one with the email of normalized email. If not, then do this and const updated user dot. Yeah. So since I have not updated much often, let's dive deep. Okay, dive deep. Explain. Okay. So here's a breakdown. User will find update, filter the condition, update operation and options. So email is finds the document. Okay, the user with the set data set is a MongoDB update operation. It updates only the fields provided in the data without overwriting the entire document. Okay, and okay, now this and new true. By default, find returns the original document before update. Set new true makes it return the updated document instead. Okay. What was updated and what will be returned. Okay, so let's write it again. Find one and update. Const updated user is equals to await user dot find one and update with email, normalized email. Then we will set data, and then new should be true. Okay, with that we have ensured that our data is updated. Now await user dot save. Am I correct? Oh, नींद तो आ रही है but I'm looking anyway. How did we save in the above? Get users await small user dot request. Where is user dot? Yeah, pretty much guessed it. You don't have to save it then. Okay, just have to restart status is 200. But will return the JSON data of updated user, and then we will return out from here. Okay. And since I know it shouldn't be. Oh, okay. Yep, these tasks are there. These tasks are there. Um, add to my day, add to my day, add to my day, add to my day, add to my day. Let's go to my day now. One, three, four, five. Second one was remaining tasks. The two add to my day. Let's do one thing. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. I guess we are on with it. Yeah, writing tests would also. So you must be wondering that why I'm not checking it, because I've already checked it. Because when I was building this another one, I've already checked it and it's pretty much the same. So I can check it using Postman again. So I guess update user is done. Let's delete user export. Const delete user produce express async handler done, and that first argument would be a function response. Okay, why? That much is good. And we'll get the email const email from request.body. After that, personalized email is equals to email dot to lower case. After that, const user access is equals to await user dot find one with that email. If not user exists, then user not found. Const delete user. Deleted user is equals to await user dot find one and delete of email normalized email status 200 JSON data deleted. The deleted user and finally return from the function. This should 100% work. Okay then, I guess all the routes has been written already, and what we'll do now is write the function in here to access these route controller functions using the routes, like at which route will access which one. Okay, so in here, let's go to the user routes. We'll import a route from express router. Okay, so const routes is equals to, let's import express first. बस ये तो सुन नहीं रहा है मेरी सजेस्ट करता जा रहा है. Import express from express form ही भाई, from express dot router, then router dot routes है क्या, router routers route will be at this register, that will be a host register user router login. Is there? Okay, after that router dot route logout will be host we get users, get user data, update user, delete user. Okay, export router. Okay, after that go default pointers. After functions are done, okay, make the चार पाँच छः एक दो तीन चार पाँच. Okay, so what extra do we have written? Update user and delete user was extra. Okay. Register, logout, login, get user data, logout. Didn't see that one. Yep. Done with it. Why is it showing different? Okay. Now we're done with all this. Now we'll use this app dot use routes. Okay. Auth routes. So this thing use router import. So this reflects to this. Now whatever be the case, user router, we can do this also. Okay. So that, so it doesn't matter what you keep the name in here. If you're importing with another name from that file, the default import will be imported. Yeah. So the routes are set now to use. Again, what's left now? We cannot write job routes right now. Let's see if the other things are working very much same. So let's open Postman, and for some time I'm going to stop share screen. Just listen to what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to maintain. Yeah, moving my Postman. So that this much is quite hard for my laptop because it's not very high configuration. So as you can see, my camera is also stuck. Okay, so let me open my env file and get the name of my cluster, job matcher cluster. Yeah, pretty much what I needed. Let's also go to the job matcher cluster and get it. Okay, so what collections do I have here? Yeah, CSA project. Let's name this as job matcher project. Okay. In which I have to open user register, old user register, new user. Let's register. Let's see if we get the data in the database. Okay. Now let's make the line first. Oh, screen is not shared. Let's share it right now. Are you able to see the screen? No. One way to get data. I want to see this paste data right here. आपका वर्क हो गया. Let's do this. I've already written this. I want to register myself with this email only. And let's check the cluster first. I want to listen some music. Yes. Let's focus. Okay. Let's go to cluster maybe. Yep, it is connected. Browse collections. Does it already have users? Yep, it is. It has users, but let's clear this data, right? If we can do that. Okay. Okay. What what we'll do? New request copy. New request not copy. I'm not sure about it. Let's do one thing. Let's see if authorization token has to do something with our register here. Have we marks headers nothing body email. This is when we get request would be this login user where this is register old user with 1000. Yeah, this one is the request register has the authorization been set in here. No headers. No. So in I guess I have done this. Okay. Strong pass 1 2 3. I guess maybe. So this is basically the payload that which I'm going to send. And first of all, let's we refresh all that. Just try sending it. I'll just try sending John Doe at that example. That already does exist in here. John Doe at that example already does exist in here, and there are also 4 refresh tokens there. Okay, which are pretty much dead. Okay, so let's try registering it. I should get a response that it does not exist at 5,000. Right, let's send it. Oh, it's going bad request. Let's see if we have gotten any response. Pretty much no response in here. Why do I think that it's a bad request? After listening to the code, transport is 5,000. Let's do 1,000, and in here also we'll keep it 1,000. Auth register, is my route correct? Oh, also one thing that we have not applied a middleware in here. Okay, uh, let's apply that error handler. Yeah, app.use error handler in the index.ts. App.use error handler. Now we have not written error handler yet, but we can write it pretty much from that. Let's close everything and let's make a middleware. Okay, in the middleware folder, error middleware.ts. Okay, so what this does, const error handler is a function which takes error of mongoose request from express, response, and next function from express. Okay, what it does is const status code response dot status code response and call else 500. Again, one more thing it will do is okay, I'm not imported it yet from express. This also from express. Yep, now it's done. So once the status code has been returned, response response of JSON should be message error dot message or else stack environment if it's equals to production and don't return anything. If it's not, then return error dot stack. Okay, so just return the error in basically developer export default error handler. That's how we have written our but okay, so we are done with this also. Let's see what's the error now. Bad request. Send again bad request. 400 got it. What was the error? Only bad request. Let's clear the response. Why is it giving bad request? Let's see. In here we have not. Here we have a API key. Robot chatbot की API key. Login user वैसे हम किया तो view the error in console. Refused with 5,000. So I guess with 1,000. Okay, unauthorized. Okay, inherit from inherit not. Still unauthorized. Let's see. Yes. That the login, not invalid credentials, but unauthorized. So basically, what the thing is, I have not set up my environment in here properly. Let's do access from anywhere possible for right now only. It's active, right? So I can access from anywhere. So why? Why? There is something that I have not done in here right now. What is it? Keep alive. Everything is there. What? What? Okay. Let's ask the chat GPT. I have written all the main points for user auth. Can you tell me how to set up the Postman to test the APIs? Download Postman done. Click new collection, more auth API. Step 4, save token for easy testing. Access token. Let's see what is my final endpoint that I'm using inside this index 1000. When I'm sending this, it's returning bad request. And why is that? I'm not sure. But what I'm sure is we don't need anything after that. Okay, let's just remove it and send it again. Still bad request. But what's the error? Content and application JSON. Content type application JSON is there. It's header. Content and application JSON is there. Calculate request send. Body is okay. Yaar. Register. But register to deliver data which not user controllers. रजिस्टर यूजर जो है मैं ये राउट्स को भी ओपन करके रखता हूँ what does it do? Let's get all users first, no? that would be that would be great. Yeah, let's copy this URL, paste it here. auth login के लिए यहाँ पे slash get all users. No need to send any body, just send it. HTML doc type. There is an error. Cannot get with double auth, right? So with a single auth, yep, I am getting the data. I am getting the data. Let's copy it. I guess this is not needed now. This is pretty much not needed. Delete it. do one thing. Let's inside add dot VS Code. Delete both of them. Run a debugger. Node.js का debugger launch.js will find it automatically. Let's go backend. Right. No backend. Is it working? Let's see. Package.json. So if you got guys not aware about it, what I'm trying to do is launch my Node.js. I'll run a dev script. Let's see, it should work now. Clear the terminal. Why didn't I do this before? I should have done this from the start. No? Hmm. It's running. Let's see why I'm getting the bad request error now. Inside the source of index.ts, inside my user routes, inside my controllers, this function is called, right? So let's add a debugger here, okay, and then call this. Now this stops here. Let's go to the next line. Now we have the data, no name, no password. If anything of any of this is missing, okay. If user does exist, okay, user exists, have that data. Yeah, let's do it again. I got the gist of it, that where we are getting this error from. I really don't need this backend folder anymore. Okay, we have successfully set up this. Let's send the request again. Let's send it. It stops here. Okay, this much is done. And again after this, where were we? We were routes inside the controllers. Haha, get it. So if not user exists, send status that you. So okay, we are not sending anything with that, right? Status 400 with a JSON that contain a message of user already exists. Send it again. Check. Let's play it. Yeah. Oh, okay. It is. Don't worry. We don't have to worry about it. have throw new error. In here also we'll set the status, return a JSON of message. Please fill the requirements. Yeah, this is how things should be handled, right? Okay, let's move this. Working perfectly fine. Uh, let's do one thing. Inside our collections, let's create everything. Okay. Now this new request will be get all users. Okay, save here. इसी का duplicate बनाएंगे. We'll name it get user data. In the end, data. And for that we have a route get user by email. So for that we'll just replace the endpoint in the body. We'll send raw data with email as what. Let's check. Okay, let's just check what data we have in here and put one of the emails of the existing data. Okay, let's go to the cluster, browse collections, browsing these collections, the users, what all users do we have here? John Doe example and John Doe at the rate google.com. Let's check one by one. JOSN at the example.com. Let's send. Yeah, got the data. Oh, nice. We even got the X token and refresh token, which we definitely not needed. That was definitely not needed, but yeah, that was just pretty fine. So, for example, if we had Google, it would work, but for other user, yeah. So we were able to do it. We'll not delete a user. We'll register some another user in there. So for that we have to body to login user register user. Okay, duplicate and do update user, put request in the body. We'll share email. We'll share the name as John Doe 2. Remove everything. Run the example should contain the name John Doe 2 now. We'll check as John Doe. This one is John Doe example as John Doe name. Send it. Photo not found. Let's do one thing. Copy this. Paste it. Send again. Not found again. We have to check why this error is coming. This collection update user not found error cannot put on the register. Okay, update user. We not update the route. Update user by email. Yeah, let's send it. I'm just going to play it now. Let's see. Yep, the name is updated. Uh, let's refresh the doc. Do we have the undo to in here? Yes, the update is also working. Now, did you get it? I like without even missing a single thing and re-rendering it. I was able to just do it on the go. Let's just create a new user and delete that user. Okay. So, register user. I'll do rishi at the rate example.com and rishi at the rate 123 would be rishi Khandagre lives in Pune with some number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Let's send it. Okay. Yep. Created. Let's refresh this. Yeah. Rishi Khandagre. Everything else is empty. Created ad, updated ad is done. And the refresh token is empty. And I don't get it. Okay, so refresh token I did get, but it did not save in there. So is there an issue with refresh tokens? Okay, refresh tokens. So register user does it contain some error regarding register token and register tokens? Okay, key scanner we have to set tokens, I guess. Maybe not. Let's check properly in here. User controller scanner register user in this refresh token. Hmm. Refresh token was sent in here. Okay, so we really did not save the refresh token, okay, anywhere in the database. And inside this backend, did we save dot push token? Yeah, we did before saving. We actually missed that line. We also missed saving data into the database. So email, normalized password, user, private user, save. We did not do that. Register user, register user. Inside this, we needed to do the thing that user dot refresh tokens and user dot save. I really need to do that, but we didn't. Let's delete this top. Okay, let's delete this one. Okay, we delete it. Yep. Now I don't want it here. Okay, let's refresh the page and again send the register request. Okay, so I'll just clear the terminal, clear response. I will create a error. User validation failed. Request token. Created is required. Oh, okay. Created ad is required. Yes, that did not give the error at first, right? That was not coming. let's see the model. Okay, database models, users, token scheme. Let's say the created address. Okay, let's see the types. In the types, in the refresh tokens, inside the token created address optional. Then why is it throwing error? Clear response. I guess this one. Let's send. User already exists. So basically, this one created the user, but did send a warning. I guess now it will not send a warning. I guess. Let's see. I delete this Rishi Khanda guy for now. Delete. Yep. Refresh it. Yeah, got it. We have only two users now. John Doe and John Doe. Let's register. User validation failed. Refresh tokens at the zero. Created app. Path created is required. Okay. Let's see by giving it error. The above is the error and just remove this created ad. Okay. And let's copy this function register user. Below is the controller for register user. The and below is the payload. But you can just provide everything that you are using right now as it is, so it can analyze. Okay. So this also teaches you how to do things. Yeah, I guess this much is enough. Thanks for sharing everything. Okay. So your user schema has likely sub document called refresh tokens, and each refresh token item requires both token and credit. But when you push this, you are not providing this or mongoose through the validation errors. What you can do is refresh token schema, new mongoose schema, created date required, type date required, true, default date now. Okay. So what we can do is inside this we'll add this thing. So refresh token schema we have in here. Not in the types but in the user or schema. Refresh token schema required true, type string, default date dot now. Yeah, done. Nicely done. Are there anything else? Correct fix. Refresh tokens, refresh token, user refresh token dot push, created at new date. Okay, and or if the schema has this will also work. Complete fixed controller function with this bonus. Defensive schema designer is refresh token type string required type date default date dot now required archive. This will be created as omitted MongoDB automatically. So even if the date is not provided, it will work, but that would be defensive type of play. And let's clear response, and let's first see that our database is updated or not. Refresh it, check if there is a user containing the same email. Yeah, example, yes, the user exists. So even if it makes refresh token would be empty, it doesn't completely halt the process. Let's delete this. So even after throwing the error, it still creates the doc. These are some potential errors that we do not want. So let's send now. Yeah, created completely. Let's refresh it and check if the token are still empty or not. Refresh token is not empty. It has an object with token and created at also. Let's refresh it. It's also working properly. Register user. Now let's use update user. Update user was already working. Let's use delete user. Okay. Instead of copy, we delete. Delete user by email. Is this the controller function? Route. Delete user by email. In the body, we'll just write the email. The email would be rishi rishi@example.com. टेल के अंदर भी rishi@example.com. Let's send this. The data is returned. Let's check if this contains rishi. It does not. It contains only two fields. So AC के साथ we can say that our MERN auth TypeScript basic authentication is complete. Okay, where we have written the register user, the login user. Okay, we have not tested the login user, right? We still haven't tested the login user. Let's see. Send it. Still unauthorized. See, let's see. Why is it giving me the unauthorized error? Let's not just get into it. Let's create a new user. Okay, let's create a response, create a new user. We shared that 123, we shared that example. Now let's try logging in. We shared that example.com and with we shared that 123. Send still unauthorized. Let's see why. Login user will contain this. Let's send it. Oh, not in here, Baba. In this. Let's go to controller. Let's go into login. Let's start from here. Send the request in here. Add the email and password. Go to the next line. There is a normalized email. Yes. User await find one with this normalized email. Yep, we did get it. Not user or compare password. Hit the doc. Inside the doc, we have email and name, and there is also password. Is this throwing error? Yes. So your password and password are not comparable. That's why it's sending unauthorized. Let's see. The register user had rishi at the rate 123. The login user also had rishi at the rate 123. Then why is it giving unauthorized error? This encrypt.compare. In the backend, we have done this. In here, we have bcrypt.js, in which we want all of them to bcrypt everything. We have used as bcrypt.js. We are going to bcrypt. Let's see. First, let's delete the user. Send this. Register user. Send. Done. Now login user. Send. Let's see. Email is there. This one is there. This one is also there. Not user. Okay. Let's reverse it. Okay, instead of this clause, we'll also check if const is password correct. Not password compare. Instead of doing this, we'll have it figure.compare password with user password. And if not password valid, it will throw error. Okay, now we have done this. Let's send again. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. User is there. Not user. Is password valid? Office to open. Refresh to open. Create one. Yep. Login is also successful. So with this, we have completed our first task. Implement multiple level of rules in that. Okay. So let's try to implement multiple roles. Okay. Let's first see. So we took almost 3 hours to implement this whole thing. Even though we had uh, all password and everything with us, and the thing is, if I hadn't had this with me, I would have taken a bit more time. So, which is obviously not good, right? This this isn't how things work. I guess I need to improve that also, and I'm pretty much done with the MERN authentication. I mean the Node.js and TypeScript backend authentication. I can easily implement the front end React to it, or maybe I can use Next.js. I guess using React would be a wise choice right now, because why not? We can just implement the Next.js in the next form. Maybe we can just write the whole thing in the Next.js next. Yeah, that would be much better. Okay, since we have implemented the middlewares and routes also, we will explore how to write it in the Next.js thing also. But before that, why not try implementing how to uh, how to introduce a role-based access or multiple levels of access. Okay, so for that we have to change the code quite a bit. Okay, quite much we have to change the code. So what we can do, one thing is that we can manually think of it, then implement it one by one, which is going to take much larger amount of time because I have not the code prepared for it, and this time I'm going to do it from the scratch. As you saw that before that I was just copying the code from the code base, but right now if we are going to implement the whole connection is unstable. Yeah, nice. So let's see. Let's see. Apakah देखो असर आसमानी पैरों के नीचे जमीन रही है असर आसमानी तुमसे मिले तो कुछ गुनगुनी सी होने लगी है वादियाँ एकदम tired guys 3 घंटे हो गए मुझे ऐसे भी कल से फ्री रहूंगा क्या ही हो जाएगा अगर करना है क्या रोल इम्प्लीमेंट करने हैं. Okay, let's say you already have my user schema, right? Good point. From what you have assumed, I might have these things. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That much is it. Okay. Now I want to implement role-based access to it. Can you explain me the pro- procedure without giving me the code? Since I don't want code at the very start. Okay. Oh, okay. My screen is not shared. Let me share my screen again. That's good that I remembered. Otherwise, yeah. So what I did, I just asked you already have my user schema, right? So I did provide my payload, right? So it automatically got that my user schema has these things. Although it had much larger things, I mean much more than this, but enough for it for to actually implement the role. So let's step by step procedure for the role based authentication access. Define your roles clearly. Okay. So start by deciding your roles. Okay. Example: admin, job seeker, employer, and super admin. So we have that already, right? We have that already. Let's if you don't remember it, let's go to the users dot models. Okay. Inside this we have roles. No, job seeker Job seeker, job seeker. We don't have rules in here. Yeah, quite good that we. So where did we saw? I don't actually know. So let's do one thing. Since they see that start by deciding your roles and this should be admin, job seeker, employer, or super admin. This can be stored as a role in the user model. Okay. So before storing user model, we have to introduce it in this doc type. Okay. So after name, we will define role, which should be of type string, or maybe we can just tell it that it would be either admin or it would be either job seeker or it would be either employer or maybe super admin. Okay. Now store role with each user. Okay. Now during this user register admin creation, assign the role to the user. Okay. So this was also much necessary to assign the role to the user. So since we have defined the role in here, okay. So in the model, we will assign the role, which is of type string and required would be true. Admin, super admin. We have admin and super admin. Default would be job seeker. Now, the registration of admin can only be done by super admin and with a uh, with the access key. Okay, so we can implement that also. What we are going to do is, right, we are write two new functions. Okay, let's create a new doc where I can explain first what we to register admin function. Second would be register super admin function. So what we are going to do is register admin के लिए only the super admin can register the admin that can be implemented in the UI. Okay, what? How can we implement it? Check the role of current user. Okay, and then if it's super admin, only super admin, only then create the admin. Now we have to think a bit about it. Okay, so register admin हमको एक फंक्शन लिखना पड़ेगा और जो चेक करेगा इन नॉट इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन द यूआई. ठीक है, कंट्रोलर्स के अंदर ही लिखेंगे, वो चेक करेगा current user role with the payload. Okay, सेकंड इज रजिस्टर सुपर एडमिन. उसके लिए क्या होगा, यूआई से एक्सेस की आएगी, कैन बी एनीथिंग बट get to only the user. Then these two we can implement at any time. What we need to do right now is we have added the role in it. Job seeker would be default. Okay, that much is done. Now, a role embedded in JW. When generating your access token, include that user's role in token payload. Why? This ensures that role information travels with every request without querying the database repeatedly. Okay, okay. While generating your access token, include the user's role in the token payload. Okay, token के payload के. Let's see. Now, your access token include in the controllers. That's fine. Generate access token. Yeah, access token does have this. It's true, but is this token stored in? Okay, so when we log in, no, or maybe when we register, also we get the access token as a response, and cookies, no cookies recovered from the server by SKS. Access authorization headers, the header contain cookies? No, header does not contain cookies, and the cookies will also not contain cookies. So where are the cookies stored? No, login में एक cookie store हो रहा है. Okay, refresh token store हो रहा है. Okay. हाँ, then role embedded in JDB. When generating your access token, include the user's role in the token payload. This ensures that role information travels with every request without querying the database repeatedly. Okay, explain how to do. the third one. Since I didn't get what it's actually trying to say, let's get deep into it. Okay. So avoid extra DB. ठीक है वो क्या बोल रहा है कि embedding role in JWT token. So avoid extra DB calls of every request. Role is available immediately after token verification. Simplifies access checks using how to process when the valid user logs in with email and password. Backend find the user in the database, generate access token from there. Okay. Then instead of token payload, have only users.id include okay additional details user ID and user role. Yeah, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. The generate access token may will provide user ID with dot role. User ID with user dot role. जनरेट एक्सेस टोकन के अंदर हम जाएंगे हमको मिला आईडी हमको मिला रोल will role not the refresh token will also contain role. I guess it should see role of string that already and in here also user dot role. So why the role does not property role does not exist in the document unknown I user. Why it does exist? No, it does exist. User. Let's see. Does this work now? I think it should. But have I not included in the role in my user.ts? No, I haven't. That's why no. In the node backend. Oh, was I updating the wrong one from so long? Yeah, this